Okay, so April 29th of 2025, I am going to continue to make videos around this subject of my room being robbed through a smash and grab operation. Okay. Now, I just came out of there and I got up by my desk for the most part. And what I find interesting is, well, I already know who did it. And she took what she wanted. She took food, she took clothes, jewelry, belts, accessories, clothing accessories, like belts and jewelry and that kind of thing. Pretty sure she took a couple of jackets. I mean, they would have been too tempting not to. A whole whack of fabric in bolts, as well as bags that she pulled up and out because she's strong and long and lanky, and she was determined, and she knew I had fabric in it. And a whole whack of food. I still have not found the sockeyed salmon that I canned. I have only found one box of sockeye salmon in my room, and honestly, I never opened it up to make sure that there was sockeye salmon in it, but I had more, let's just put it that way, boxes of sockeye salmon, because I've been stocking up for amari, mainly, and for sushis and that type of thing, right? And I've been doing it for a couple of years, so where all those boxes went to, I don't know. Well, I do know. You see, that's the thing. Now, when I got into my little corner there by my desk, if this was just some slime ball sneaking into my house and beeline straight for my bedroom, magically, and did a smash and grab, well, let me tell you something. By my desk is a camera that is about $400 anyway. When I purchased it, it was like $600 or something like that. Right? So it's in good shape. I used to take it to when I used to do park events before the internet came with the videos, right? There was no YouTube. There was nothing like that. And the way I documented it on my website was to take pictures. So I went off and I bought a really good camera, Kodak camera. I don't know. Anyway, I'll show you later. I bought a really good camera, and I used to take pictures of the park events or any other little event that I was doing in those days, because there was no camcords or video upload websites. So you're talking 2003, 4, 5, 6, and so on, right? Until my son came around in, I guess he showed up with a camcord, and he uploaded or whatever, I don't know. Anyway, the camera is still there. Isn't that interesting? So she ignored a $400 camera in its own case. But she definitely was rooting around in that area. I'm going to show you, documenting this, people. Digging around. How she got in there and did it, I don't know. But she moved, because she was just tossing shit around. Plus, I think one of the reasons the jars are so mixed up, I think she just kind of picked them all up and pushed them all over there, and then when it came time to put back jars, she just willy-nilly grabbed jars and just kind of, filled them up as she went, just right to make it look like nothing had been moved. No. There's another box that, because she was digging deep. Those yeast were deep. They were way in the back, on the bottom, on the floor, with something else on it. Well, the ham. She took the ham and took out some of the yeast and put 3 Hammond to fill the box to make it look like that's the way, and she ran off with it, right? And then she would go to the next spot. She'd cut, right? And then she'd reach and she'd go to the next spot. Or she'd toss things, right? Oh my God. So anyway, there's this big ass box, which should not have been there, but it was, with all mixed up jars. Oh joy. And I opened up the box that was underneath it. Now, I remember dehydrating that stuff, but I don't remember that box being there, but either or, she was there. She did not take the camera because she wasn't interested in the camera. I also have a $500 wireless DJ mic that was in that corner. She didn't take that. Now, if it was just some random person that managed to worm their way into my room with nobody noticing, going in and out like a fucking crackhead, stealing my clothes, my jewelry, my food, my jackets, my fabric, whether in bags that were up high on the bed in the middle of the fucking bed, for crying out loud. And that's what I know of. I still have to get up there and do a sweep up there, and I will bring the camera up there, and I will document it. Right now we're at $5,900 because my drawer up by the freaking trunk there is like half empty, as well as the other side of a little drawer is half empty. Like half empty, okay? The drawer is big, man. It's like this, it's like that. She took half of everything that's in there, more than half. I don't know. And even I think she even got into the second drawer too. I haven't gotten on those drawers yet. Like, this girl is sick. Only a sick person would do this. It's not a disability. It's deviancy. Okay. So she didn't take the wireless mic. Why? What would she do with DJ equipment? She can't eat it. She can't wear it. She can't sew it. I suppose she could sell it, but that's not what she was interested in selling. She's got some girl looking at my Betty Boo bag, wanting to maybe buy that. So, if anything, she'd sell clothes, right? And she'd use the fabric and the beads and the jewelry to either wear for herself or make something for herself, or make something and try and sell it to somebody else. And being that she's got flat sequins fucking fabric now, that's going to make her customers all itchy. Doesn't matter what she does to it. It's going to follow her one way or another. And speaking of following, check this one out. All right, I get robbed of almost $6,000. Well, actually, we're past the $6,000 mark, because as I was in that little corner, I have these, I'm looking for one that's handy, but I can't really see right now. You know those plastic containers with the little boxes in it, little sections in between, and you lift up the lid and people can put their beads in it or whatever, right? Right? And right? Okay, I had some of those in my room with glass beads, people. Right? In their little sections or whatever. Well, they're gone. There was one on the bottom of the floor by my chair, a small one, but I had bigger ones right in that room. There was no reason to take them out at this, like, because, I've been moving things out of my room, right? And my room has been the safest room in the house until this girl showed up. Yeah. Anyway, I don't see them. I haven't seen them, except for I found this one little one on the floor, which made me think of my other ones, and I haven't come across them, so that means they're gone. As well as I found a little glass thing with little beads in it, which tells me one fell out because she grabbing and groping and trying to get into as much as she could get into, as fast as she could get into it, people. And as soon as she found something she wanted that she could use to sew with, wear, maybe sell to her girlfriends, being that she was already starting to sell my Betty Boo bags. She's got a girlfriend looking at it, deciding whether she wants to buy it or not. Because you have to remember, I told her that whatever we do, if we're going to sell stuff, it needs to be logged down and treated like a business. She didn't like that. And obviously she decided to take what she wanted before I decided to start giving her things to sell, because if it was something she really wanted and I said, no, I need to sell it, she'd be choked. So before that would happen, she just went in there and took what she wanted first. And then she'd come back and she'd help me with the remaining stuff as I went crazy, like, what the hell? Why is my... right? She'd stand there acting dumb because I'd open up my dresser drawer and I'd be like, oh, what the hell is going on in here? This is half empty. Trust me, people, my dresser drawers were full, okay? They haven't moved in years. I'm short on space too, right? I have said that as well, right? And, you know, I've always kind of been just waiting for Tisha to, you know, whatever, when the time comes, right, to go through them with me or whatever, right? But, you know, just with the pressure of all these individuals wanting me to bury myself sooner than later, like it's like they want me dead, and they want me gone. They want my shit, like they just want. That's it. Some people want other things, other people want something else, but it all boils down to they want something versus live and let live. They just feel that, okay, so what was she thinking? Take what she wants because she knew that she wasn't going to get what she wanted when the time come to start putting things up for sale. So she took it upon herself to take what she wanted now, hoping that I wouldn't notice it because I'm blind, right? And if I did, she, you know, she could, like, well, you know, come with some cockamamie story that, oh, you know, maybe your daughter stole it when she was alive and you just didn't notice it, and she's down there and act all fucking dumb as she's expecting me to give her things because she's helping me. So not only did she steal from me, but she would have came back here and helped me and then expected me to give her shit. Huh? From the shit that she stole from. Talk about a fucking psychopath. So anyway, I found that little thing of beads on the floor because I'm looking for cans, but I may have moved the cans into my room, but maybe not. There could have been cans there that she grabbed, opened them up, and seen all the shiny junk jewelry and more necklaces and just whatever, and she took the whole fucking can. I won't be too sure about that until I get into my sewing room, but I'm not worried about that right now. Okay, that will come soon enough, and I mean, obviously, if I get into my sewing room in the next few months, or whenever, and I find those cans not in there, and I know what I know what to look for, then I'm just going to tack on more money. That's all. And like right now, we're at $5,900, and then I'm going to add in maybe another $200 for those beads, glass beads, because they were big, like long. I mean, they're like that, right? But they're right. And they have little sections with, that stuff is expensive, okay? Glass beads, when you're making earrings and shit, that's what it's for, right? And all the little silver things that, you know, beads, silver and gold beads, and Just, okay, so I'm going to add in an extra $200. So we're at $6,100 now. I haven't even gotten up on top of my bunk bed yet, and I haven't finished doing what I'm doing, and I haven't found the sockeye salmon yet that I canned. Nor have I found any sockeye salmon in a can, and nor have I, like in a box, nor have I found any boxes of ham. And I had more than one boxes of ham in there, and I had more than one box of freaking sockeye salmon, because my room is cold. And I wasn't taking them downstairs. I was leaving them upstairs in my room, because my room was the safest place, in my opinion, in the house, until I invited a thief into my house that's been a thief for 9 years, but I just didn't know about it. Because I'm being pressured to die and get rid of my stuff before I die. Because I'm not entitled to have a life or to own anything or whatever. Because of progress. Because that's basically what it feels like. So, alright. I go to the bank yesterday. I'm standing in line. I'm chatting with this lady. She says, "Oh, you're such a strong woman." You know, I told her a few things that has happened in my life. She was just a young woman, a Hindu woman, 26 years old, you know, barely hanging on herself in terms of keeping up with the economy and whatnot. And you know, I warned her about the bank and how shady they can be. And anyway, as I was there talking, you know, I talked about Uncle John and how he was medically kidnapped, and within 3 years he was dead after, you know, his sister and the bank robbed him of all his money, and then it wasn't over yet, right? You know, I'm going to be getting a hold of a freaking head office in Toronto and send them all my court papers and ask them to investigate that bank for what they did to my family and to Uncle John, right? And then, I don't know, and then I told her about the theft, right, that just occurred, and because she got a roommate offline that was moving in that day, like, you know, and I'm like, oh, it's like a stranger? You gotta be kidding me. That must be hard for you, just to open up your house and have some stranger that you know, rented a room from online, right? And she goes, "Yeah, I've done that before, and I had a roommate. First year was good, and then this second year, you know," I said, like, you know, "Did you have any experience, like bad experience with the first roommate?" She goes, "No, except that she took away she stole my mental peace." Something like that. She stole my mental peace. And I'm like, oh yeah, I think I know how to relate to that. But I could never put words to it, right? But yeah, people steal your mental peace. They sure do, right? So finally the girl moved out after about a year, right? Was causing all these troubles and blah, 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 blah. And now she's got a new girl moving in that she's never met, and it was just done a transaction through online. Oh, and I said, "Oh, God, I feel so sorry for you. I hope it works out. Just get a lock on your frickin' door." I said, you know, it's not that hard. Put a lock on your door. Make sure you lock your door. So I'm standing there. And then he must be Korean. Guy comes, older man, talking about a food bank not too far from here. And, you know, come on by and blah, 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 and free chicken, Kentucky Fried Chicken on such a date, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, food bank? I just got robbed. I gotta pay out my bills. I can't spend money and buy groceries very much because, you know, right? And I'm like, anyway, long story short, I got the address where it is and the times, and so I said, yeah, maybe I'll do that for socialization, take the kids out and buy fresh, well, no, I won't be buying, well, I'll see, get some fresh vegetables for free. Yeah. That's what I'd go for more than anything. No. I don't need canned tuna and stuff like that. If I got canned tuna, I'd probably just give it to some homeless person after the fact, walking home. Or maybe I'd bring it home, considering how much was robbed from me. You know, I guess every can of tuna helps, I suppose. I don't know. The point is I felt like Uncle John was watching my back, cracking jokes with that girl, right? I said, oh, you see, Uncle John, he's here, he's watching my back. I just got robbed for like almost $6,000 worth of stuff, and here's this man offering me to go to a food bank where I can actually walk to it with my grandkids without stressing out myself, because the other one is way, way, way too far, right? Like, I could never get to it. So I felt like somebody was watching out for me. So don't be surprised if I don't start doing a few little videos at the food bank. It's a church, and I mentioned Pastor Granny, and the guy acknowledged her. I called her Franny because they know her as Franny. I know her as Granny. She was like a granny, right? He goes, yeah. So maybe that's Pastor Pastor Granny's church. Hey, Pastor Granny came full circle. She's keeping an eye on me. So is Uncle John. Yeah, so you didn't hurt us, Rhea. You're just one big charity case. Oh, yeah. And as for hiding my stuff, for the amount that you took, it would only be reasonable, being that I was up on YouTube within a day or two talking about you stealing my shit. So where did you put it? Maybe in that little storage room that you have? Because you did offer me a spot. You said I could put some stuff in there if I wanted to, that you didn't have a lot of room, but you had a little bit of room. So is that where my stuff is? Maybe you had that guy take you to your little storage room, and you put the stuff that you stole into the storage room, and the stuff that wouldn't fit in there, you hid it around the house. Yeah. Or you sold it already. But being that you took the things that you wanted, you see, that's the thing. That's what really gives you away. You needed the food to feed your face, and then your kids second. That's what you needed the food for. First, you wanted to feed yourself. And then your kids. The macaroni is for the kids. The corned beef, the salmon, all that shit is for you. And then your kids will get scraps. That's what will happen. Same thing with the maple sugar. I'm pretty sure you'll suck that back real fast and just give your kids white sugar. So you needed the food for yourself and the kids. How much of it you were going to give to the kids remains to be seen. Nobody will never know, right? Because you have to eat it in shame. I'm just saying. And you took the bolts of fabric because you knew I'd never give it to you and I'd want to put them up for sale. So you had to steal them fast before we got too deep into putting things online. And that was the same thing that applied to my clothes. Whether you wore them for yourself, right in front of Tisha's face, on a night out with the girls, or maybe you'd wear it at a birthday party, thinking you were freaking sexy, or whether you're selling it to that girl that wants the Betty Boo bag, who was asking you if you had any more goods to sell. Doesn't matter. You took my clothes, and you took a lot of them, because you even went into my drawers and took them from my fucking drawers, okay? And I had way too many jackets in there for you not to take one or two jackets that you liked. Just like that fur. If it was some creep that came into my house and found a whole bunch of fucking fur, and we're talking, that was deer skin. Okay, deer fur, big one, that big puffy one, and then there, that black and white one, big one, is is a cow skin, but the only one that you took was an extra large brown, black, white, whatever, cow skin in mint condition. Only one out of all that fur. If it was some random person that snuck into my room, they would have ran off with all of them. And they wouldn't have been digging deep for yeast. Okay? Sure, you're going to make bread for your kids every day. But sooner or later, that yeast is going to run out and you're going to be right back where you started. Okay? Your little storage room is going to run dry with whatever you've got hidden away in it. And then, of course, that's what makes you dangerous, because you'll just target somebody else to do the same kind of stupid shit. And because you're good at it, and you did it with confidence, and then you got aggressive about it after the fact, so that people were intimidated to be able to move around freely in their own house, because maybe, if you weren't so intimidating with your posturing and with your drilling of the questions, like, you've got so many cans of corned beef, like, why? Well, I don't know. How would you know? How would you know I have so much corned beef? Because you went from spot to spot to spot to spot to spot, and as long as you could think you could get into it, you got into it. Not everything you got into, but you know what? Like I said, I need to move things off that trunk, which will be a hassle. And when I open it up, I'm going to really double check versus just run my hand in there and feel to see if there was. I'm going to pull some stuff out and I'm going to see if my sequins trims are in there. If they're gone, will I ever get them back? No. I can buy them if I wanted to, for the sake of buying them, just because, not because I can sew with them anymore. I mean, I suppose I probably could, but that wouldn't be the priority for me at this point in life. Just like that cow skin, it's not a priority for me to go off and buy one, but I know where to buy them. They're in New Westminster. If I want, I could take $500 and go fucking buy one and come and show everybody on YouTube. I bought another one and I wrap it up and put it in with the rest of them where it belongs. Right? Like, you didn't fucking hurt me as much as you think. The only person you really hurt was yourself and your kids, and obviously Tisha, and anyone else who knows you that maybe liked you. No names mentioned. Whatever you took is going to eventually run out. Obviously, the food will run out first. And you'll be crying on with Tisha to take you to the fucking food bank or to take you shopping at the grocery store. Yeah. And that's assuming that your relationship can stay true. Because I ain't got your back. So we're at $6,100 now, because my glass beads with the little, it's for earring making and stuff. That's what they're for, right? And the containers were long. They were long and wide, right? There's big ones. All I have left is one little one that was buried on the floor. It must have fell down with a little glass thing of something that fell out from something else that you freaking grabbed. I will make an effort to get into my sewing room in the next couple of weeks, just like I'm going to get up on top of my bed over the next couple of weeks. So this isn't over yet. And if I don't find the cans of my knickknacks, because I was a costume maker long before you even fucking born, bitch. Bitch. Long before you were even born, bitch. I have a son as old as you, bitch. Then I'm going to tack that shit on too and probably put a pretty high price on it. Because that was all vintage. I don't care what was in those cans. It's all vintage. You took that away from Leah May and Tisha. So that your kids can eat macaroni and cheese. As you eat frickin' corned beef. Sockeye salmon. Ham. Eat all the jam. What a great mom. What a great mom you are. Well, I got somebody knocking on my door saying, well, don't worry. There's a food bank over here. It's actually a few times a week. I'm like, you gotta be kidding me. I just got robbed, like, of thousands of dollars. Like, are you serious? And it's in walking distance. I can actually walk there. Wow, that'd be great. I need socialization time. I can take the kids out for 2 pieces of free, Kentucky Fried Chicken once a week if I want to, and get free food, and get clothes for them if I need them. Isn't that interesting how that just fell in my lap? And I don't go out, people. And that all came to me at the bank. I'm still fighting the good fight for Uncle John. Yeah. So this is what I mean, Rhea. Whatever you think you got, it's gonna backfire on you. I'd sell that fucking fabric if I were you. I wouldn't sew with it. No. I wouldn't. But you're a fool. You see, that's the thing. And there's something not connecting in your brain. So, at this point, happy sewing.